before the New York City underground street dance experience. There was the Indiana Groovaloos theater experience.
They've been described as a hip-hop chorus line My name is Alstar. This is
It inspired me to pursue my dream in hip-hop dance and entertainment production. 12 years later, I've witnessed so many dancers come and go due to financial, health, and family reasons. Yet, I'm still here, trying to make something meaningful and cool. If I wanted to create something like the Groovaloos, there won't be anybody better to learn from other than the creator. I reached out by sending a picture from my college year and a brief message on Instagram. Surprisingly, the man replied. We had several FaceTime chats, and he even accepted my inquiry for the apprenticeship. So, what is Groovaloos? Who are they? And what did they do?
Groovaloos. I have never seen such dancing as in this show.
That show was absolutely amazing.
My back is hurting me. It was terrific.
Not a ebony bone. It's unbelievable.
What is it? Where is it? When is it? It's there, waiting, whispering. It's reflected in your surroundings and the people closest to you.
One breath, drawn into the circle, this cipher, this revolution of destiny that brought us together. From ballerina to b-boy, ghetto bird to angel's wings. From being beat down to standing tall. From thoughts of doubt and another day of uncertainty.
The background has changed. Hip-hop was created. It was the voice of kids that didn't have, that created something that was their own. You know, nowadays, it's taken for granted.
They call me Alstar. I started dancing when I was 3 years old. I took jazz, tap, ballet, hip-hop, lyrical, salsa, gymnastics, partnering, anything I could get my hands on. As a dancer, all I've ever wanted to be is perfect.
My dad left home to better himself, make a difference. He always dreamed I'd be a doctor too, and I just wanted to make him happy. So, I signed up for pre-med. Being the optimist and the good son, I thought I could hold on to my dad's dream.
They had always been programmed to do.
Life isn't always choreographed. Sometimes you have to freestyle.
night before 4 a.m., bullets began flying at a local nightclub in Gastown.
Injured with a bullet in his back was uninvolved bystander Stephen Stagg.
Police are encouraging those with information about Saturday morning's murders to contact the
Killed
homicide.
and 5 seriously wounded when caught in the crossfire of
Are
gang
still searching for an unidentified number of people who
A
fled
hospital
the scene.
spokesman says that Stephen Stanton may never walk again.
When this first happened to me, my first thought was, I'm not going to be able to dance again. And that lasted for about 30 seconds. And then I literally heard this voice whisper to me, "You're not done."
I have the honor to meet the man himself, Mr. Bradley Repair.
Hello.
Let me tell you guys a little bit about how I met him and the Groovaloos. That was back in 2010, which was 11 years ago. I was in college and I had started my dance organization in 2008. So when I met you, that was a year and a half into it. We've done some stuff, we've done some events, and we've been to battles. We went to showcases, we done showcases ourselves. And American Best Dance Crew, it was on the second, if not the third season. I had a bit of knowledge of what street dance was about and, certain format of it, but the Groovaloos was one of its own kind. I've never seen anything like that in terms of stage show and people who have characters and stories. For me, it was a very shocking experience. So your show certainly inspired me so much. Yes. That's why I had the honor to invite Bradley to come to our show and talk about how he started the Groovaloos and the journey of it and what's going on right now. What's the status quo? The Groovaloos obviously didn't come out of thin air.
No, it didn't.
So it has to come out from this guy as the founder of the Groovaloos. So tell us, where has everything all began?
The real start of this was back in like 81. I was actually on another path. I was going to be a doctor, and at both in high school and then in university, I was a gentleman that tracked me down and showed me this dance. And he was forming a group called Streetscape.
What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Wayne Headley, street name, The Saint. My name's Steamboat Colin, Bloudoff.
Sam Solomon, Boogaloo Sam.
Ooh, right. Paul Lewis.
I'm Brad Rapier, Brave and Brad. I'm from Calgary, Alberta.
They were pretty groundbreaking in Canada themselves. It was the sort of the pioneering group in Canada. At that time, it was the first group to do boogaloo and popping in the country. There was some other stuff, but there was a prominent group. We did television shows, specials, all sorts of stuff. But really the main thing that introduced me to the culture and sort of led my life that direction. So in Streetscape, we got to such a prominence actually that through the relationships they had, they knew Poppin' Pete, Kitty Boogaloo Tut, Mark Benson, other people of the sort of Boogaloo family and extra people around there. And at one part, we actually had Boogaloo Sam, the creator of the Boogaloos. He ended up dancing with us, joined us in Streetscape. This is after being together about 3 years.
So how old were you back then?
Oh my gosh, let's see, I would have been 20. So it was very late. I started late if you think about it, I think.
Did you already dance for a while or just about to start?
Long story short, where I grew up was not, this is also historically back in that time, there wasn't a culture like today. So there wasn't any of the TV shows, the culture. Right. You didn't even know about this dance unless you were in LA, Fresno, or Long Beach, or Oakland, or maybe you're in or New York. In Canada, no one else looked like me. The cultural context was, it was mostly a rock and roll vibe. I could do some grooves, sort of side to sides that my sister would teach me, but no awareness of any street dance culture.
So can you say that you got lucky that you got into this group right away in the very beginning of your dance career
to
meet those pioneers of street dance.
Oh, absolutely, because those two gentlemen, actually one of them was the very first person they say in all of Canada, his name was Wayne, to do any popping in the whole country.
Wow.
And they came to, and that's because he connected with the Boogaloo's down in Long Beach when he went to school. Sure. But basically that was a whole foray into, those two guys were, Colin was a locker and a great personality, really great stage presence. And so those two guys found myself and another friend named Paul, and we formed Streetscape. They had been active a little bit before us, but now Streetscape became this really prominent pioneer group in Canada.
From Streetscape, where does it go from there?
The Streetscape ends around 85-ish, and then Colin, who was the founder of Streetscape, he was always a thinker, he was always a dreamer. Him and Wayne were both very creative, which gave me a lot of my background of storytelling that came later. Colin had this idea to start a boy band before there were boy bands. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Back before there was even boy bands.
Nice.
Before Backstreet Boys and any of that stuff. And he had this idea, and he had, because of the relationship of Streetscape, so for a brief time, Colin, Skeeter Rabbit, Poppy Pete, and Sugar Pop, we were calling ourselves Madison Avenue. Colin was really putting it all together, and he recorded a song. We actually went to Santa Monica and did a showcase. We didn't go further, but it was kind of a season. It was very exciting.
Cool.
Yeah, it was very cool for me too, because I was with Skeet and Pete and Sugar Pop at the same time, watching them. But I still was like, I'm in the culture because of Streetscape, but these guys are the legends.
From the boy band, what did you do afterwards?
I was bitten by this idea. I needed to see more of this culture. It was really affecting my life the same way it kind of affected your life. There's some things in it I was really discovering. So in Canada, I went to Toronto mostly. Mm-hmm. Toronto's the big center in Canada, and where a lot of the stuff goes on. So I was choreographing industrials, I was doing some of the TV shows there, sometimes just being hired to dance, sometimes I was involved in choreography. Okay. What then happened was in '89, I went back to Calgary, where I'm from, where I grew up, and they had a Canadian talent search. Okay. And '89, and we had to sing and dance and act. And
the whole night, wow.
The whole night, and I will not sing for you because that was down here. Okay. But I did sing something, and then I won the competition, and that's how I then went in 1990 through that competition. Put me in some other competitions in New York and LA. One of the cool projects that happened was I was getting very friendly with Popping Taco, Bruno. So him and Hugo, but I was spending time with Popping Taco. At that time, he was working with Michael Jackson a lot. And he then got a hold of myself because Michael had asked him to find 6 guys to pop. And his idea was to have Michael Jackson and 6 men popping for the album Dangerous in the 90s, early 90s. Nice. So Bruno had, obviously, with Skeet and Pete and Hugo and Sugar Pop, and then Poppy Taco and myself, which I was very humbled to be in that presence. And then we started rehearsing. Michael wasn't there, but we were rehearsing these routines, incredible stuff that Bruno was putting together, like popping with hats and rolling down and back on. It was incredible. And then it didn't go that way for the album, but that was a pretty amazing